As we go live, so I don't know if there are people who are already joining us. As I said, this is our, in case somebody has just tuned in, this is our press day, but the actual official press day presentation doesn't start until 2 p.m. I'm Nora Armani, founding artistic director of the Socially Relevant Film Festival, and we have 3 team members here who have been helping with the selection. There's more people who are watching films, of course, with us, but we didn't all get here, otherwise we'll take up the entire screen. So I'm going to just leave this time a little bit for free chats, and let's see who wants to join in. Actually, maybe we should, yeah, well, people have to listen. So as I said again, it's 1:49, a countdown has begun, but it's a long wait. So you're gonna wait for 10 minutes. If anybody is here, we can start already. I don't want to end the broadcast, because if I do, it's going to stop it. So I might as well say a couple of things about the festival, which all this information is available on our website, www.ratedsrfilms.org, Socially Relevant Film Festival. SR, the Socially Relevant Film Festival, is a non-profit film festival, which I founded 13, no, not 13. Actually, it was in 2013, but not 13 years ago, 8 years ago. And it was in reaction to the proliferation of violence on our screens and off in our societies. And we feel, we see a lot of violence happening on screen. And I was like, okay, if I don't want to see a film that has violence in it, I can very easily go and not see it, and I go see something else. However, a lot of times you go and you see all these posters which have guns and violence and situations of fear and chases and, you know, violent images, in other words, which are out there in front of us on bus stops everywhere, and we cannot help but be bombarded by these. So as a reaction, and also as a personal reaction, because I had the misfortune of losing 2 very dear members of my family to a violent death crime, hate crime, I should say. And they were murdered. And as the 10th anniversary of that horrible event approached, I wanted to commemorate them in a meaningful way. So I started a festival, a film festival. I had already been curating and guest curating a lot of festivals in the past, but this one was a festival that I wanted to dedicate to non-violence. Then I realized it might be a little too limited and limiting. So I figured, okay, we should do it to encompass all sorts of social issues and social problems in the world today. Because a lot of the problems we have are either caused by violence or they cause violence in the end. So in a way, we didn't move too far away from the violence theme. And this year's festival is no different from any other year in the fact that we treat a lot of social issues. We go into a lot of social problems and problematics. So let me see. I have Michelle Avua, somebody who is joining us. We have also a bunch of people joining. Hey, everyone, please feel free to send us questions or messages in the comments section. We can see that, and I am going to put a comment section here. Hello, everyone. I have already got a welcome note. Please make yourselves known and ask questions if you like. Okay, thank you. I spelled yourselves like the lawyers spelled United States. A little note there. Okay, so we're approaching, in 7 minutes, we're going to start the unveiling of the festival lineup this year. As I was saying, the festival was dedicated to the memory of my dear cousin Vanya Exerjan and her father, my dear uncle Jack Exerjan, who were murdered in a horrible hate crime. Unfortunately, hate crimes go on every day in our lives, in our societies. Sometimes they're in far off countries and we don't understand what's happened, and we finally don't want to acknowledge them. And we say, oh, somebody got murdered. Okay, so, and sometimes they happen right in front of our doorsteps. And again, we don't react because we have become banalized. And that's exactly what this festival is trying to avoid. By showing a lot of violence on screen, by showing a lot of violent images, we become desensitized about it. We do not get shocked anymore. We just look at it, maybe we react, maybe for a second, and then go on with our lives. So especially this festival is against gratuitous violence. If we're talking about a film that has to do with domestic violence, or it has to do with war or refugees or situations where there are some unavoidable violence, images of violence, that's fine. But there are films, I don't want to sit here and name any because opinions might differ on that, but there are some films where it is gratuitous violence and it banks on it as though that is going to make the film sell better. So the Socially Relevant Film Festival is completely opposed to that, to showing gratuitous violence on screen. And we focus instead on all the films and all the filmmakers who choose to tell socially relevant stories, who choose to share with us human interest stories, going against the grain, going against the commercial requirements of the market. So in a few minutes, in 4 minutes exactly, we are going to welcome everyone and unveil our selection. In the meantime, I'm filling in the gap and I am telling you about the film festival, how it came about. And also I am happy to announce that this is the 8th annual edition that is coming to you online. It will come to you into your living room. Well, the silver lining in that is that every year since our festival happens in March, we used to be confronted with one or maybe even more snowstorms. And it used to become difficult to get to the cinema. On one occasion, a manhole exploded right outside the cinema and all the black smoke came out and it was poisonous. So we had to stop everything, evacuate everyone and send them home. Well, this year we will not have anything like that happen. Unless a manhole explodes in front of your house. God forbid, we don't wish that. And it will be possible for you to sit comfortably in your preferred couch, on your preferred couch, make yourself comfortable with a nice cup of tea or popcorn, or maybe you'll be the lucky winner of a bottle of wine, that we are raffling, and you'll be able to see all the wonderful films we have in store for you. So again, this is Nora Armani, founding artistic director of the Socially Relevant Film Festival. and it is our 8th annual edition of the festival. In 2 minutes, we are going to, in 2 minutes exactly, we are going to unveil the selection of the Socially Relevant Film Festival 2021, our 8th annual edition. Last year, the 7th edition was scheduled to open at the Lincoln Center with a big opening and then go to Cinema Village for the rest of the weekend. And then, of course, everybody knows what happened back in March. COVID hit and everything stopped. So a few months later, taking the lead from some of the more important and established film festivals, we decided to go online as well. It was a bit improvised, a bit last minute, but we learned along the way. And the silver lining was that we ended up with a huge following, much, much bigger than what we had expected to have in the cinema. Our YouTube attendance more than tripled, actually, we're happy to say. And please, everybody, make sure you subscribe. If you just happen to wander in, please subscribe and also ring the bell. You know, there is a bell somewhere, I don't know where, somewhere. Ring the bell so that when we post something new, you get to see it firsthand. There will be postings on a regular basis. We will have chats with the filmmakers. We will talk with the different groupings of filmmakers, as well as have Q&As after the films. And we will be able to bring you some workshops and panels and interesting events. We even have a script reading panel, which I'm going to come to that later when I actually start the official presentation in a second, actually. All right, so I think it's 2:00 and we can officially start the festival presentation. First of all, I wish to start by thanking everyone. I would like to thank, first of all, the filmmakers. I have to start with the filmmakers because they are brave, because under the circumstances with the pandemic, and they have not stopped working, they have not stopped sending their films to film festivals, and they have not given up. They have ventured to tell all these socially relevant stories, trying to make a change in the world, one film at a time and one social issue at a time. So thank you, filmmakers, past, present, and future, for trusting the Socially Relevant Film Festival with your films and letting us share them on our platform to our audiences. And this year, you're also going to get some cash prizes. Ta-da! So I'm going to come to that later. Next, I would like to thank the members of the team, the Socially Relevant Film Festival, those who are here with us, Natalie, Donna, Dirk, and also those who are sitting at home and following this broadcast, because they spend hours and hours watching films and selecting or making recommendations for selection, because there's no way any one person, although I know one person here who does that, namely Dirk, to watch a huge number, like over 500, 600 films, it's not possible, but we talk to each other, we recommend films, and also we eliminate films, unfortunately. So any filmmakers who are out there watching, please remember to read the guidelines of the festival and not send at random to whatever film festival you fancy. Because if your film is not a good fit, it will not be selected outright. So do yourselves a favor and save the money. We can say, no, send it, and then not select it. But we don't want to do that because we know that every penny counts for you. I also wish to thank all the team members. I already said that. And without the team, a festival cannot happen. Without the filmmakers, a festival cannot happen. Without partners and sponsors, a festival cannot happen. We will acknowledge all the partners and sponsors in due course, individually, as they attach themselves to different films and programs, and they will also be mentioned on our website. And last but not least, the whole meaning of today's conference is the press and the media. It's very, very important for us to have the collaboration and the partnership and support of the media, of press, and our media partners. Because if nobody writes about the festival, nobody will know about it. I mean, a few people might stumble along and find us on the channels, on YouTube, or on our website. But if the press don't support it, the bigger following are not going to happen. So I wish to thank our media, press and media partners. Well, when last year we went online, we were a bit sad because we had planned good things for you in person at the Lincoln Center and the Cinema Village. And then we realized, no, there must be something good out of this. And the good came all the multiplication of the audiences and the people who were able to tune in. Most importantly, we were able to have chats and interviews with all the filmmakers instead of only those who came to New York. So, as I said, we have the prizes and everything. So with the awards, this year we have 6 categories that are competition categories, namely narrative features, documentary features, narrative shorts, documentary shorts, and we have a script writing competition. This year, we have added also a 6th category, or 5th actually, because the 6th is the script writing. And that category is films that deal with the pandemic or that were filmed via Zoom because of COVID and the pandemic restrictions. So that's a category of its own now. Besides these, we have the crown jewel, the jewel in the crown, I should say, the Vanya Ekserjan Empowering Women and Girls Award, which is named after my cousin, who, as I was saying earlier, was murdered because of a terrible hate crime. And as a result, this festival came to exist as a commemoration and anti-violence approach. So the Vanya Ekserjan Award is given by the festival team across all categories to a film that deals with empowering women and girls. Then we also have the Women Film Critics Circle Award, and these are women film critics in New York who, or internationally, that come together and choose one of the films from our roster, and they designated an awardee. The script writing, I already mentioned that, and we also have readings for the scripts that are finalists, which I'm going to mention later, more detailed, and audience awards. So these are the awards. We have workshops and events. One of the workshops is distribution and the new perspectives in post-COVID situations, a reality we have today. The other one is media and press. Very, very important. The role of PR, media, and press in promoting your film and in bringing it to a successful distribution. Then we have a session with the script readings, which is directed by one of our festival team members, Jilly Simon, who is directing 5, sorry. I forgot if we're only doing the finalists or all the finalists. Yes, the finalist films, scripts, each will have 10 minutes reading from a choice pages that the scriptwriter has designated, with actors, so they get the benefit of hearing their script spoken out loud. All this information will be posted and is posted on our website, www.ratedsrfilms.org. And I'm going to write that for you, ratedsrfilms.org, because we are going to get to go there very, very quickly. And I am going to start showing you the films. So we are also planning to have year-round events and workshops and even film screenings. So we have also a huge party, virtual party, organized on Sunday the 21st, where the awards will be announced and everybody can tune in. So distribution, role of media, script readings, Zoom award, and we have a very important partnership this year with NGO CSW, where we are going to screen a number of short films dealing with empowering women and girls, followed by a panel with distinguished women. So without further ado, let me go to our, let me first see if some people have asked questions. The bell is next to the subscriber button. Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you, Ching. Ching is here. She's one of our team members, and she will be hosting some of the interviews with the filmmakers. She's much more savvy in these things, so she can help us. Hello from New Jersey, says Mabel. Thank you, Mabel. She's one of our faithful followers, and she writes about the festival every year. Rick Kane, thank you so much for including our film In the Age of COVID when Molly goes to Korea. This is a funny movie, everybody. Funny, funny, funny. Our team is so excited. And Ching says, hi, I'm Jing Jewel. My film, Lingering Time, That Moment, Black Lives Matter, my films, yes, were screened at SRFF. Yes, of course. We're so happy to have you with us. And Judith Escalona, it's here. Hello, it's Judith. Hello, Judith. So now that we have acknowledged everyone, let me, don't waste your time any longer and go to our festival website. Here you go. As you see, the festival website, home, SRFF, narrative features, documentary features, and all of it are there. Sponsors, you can become a sponsor if you're not yet and you're thinking, oh, I should have sponsored this cool festival. It's still time, there is still time. And then you have the sponsors from all past years, which we would love to thank again. And news and press accreditation, press covering, gallery, etc. We have a saying, if we dream alone, it's only a dream. If we dream together, it becomes reality. Our hope with Socially Relevant Film Festival is that we can all dream together, and that should become a reality. Here is our trailer. Okay, there we go. So now let's continue and go back to, okay, how do I get out of this? Yes, here it is, the button, and continue to our selection. So I'll start with documentary features because we have two team members who are presenting films along with me, and they will be leaving us shortly because of other commitments. So I will let them talk sooner. Okay, so on this page, you can see the documentary films that we have selected. They are not the films themselves, obviously. They are the trailers of those films, and they are arranged alphabetically. A Walk in Her Shoes, it's a film, a woman's journey, a woman's intimate story of personal discovery, empowerment, and triumph in a quest to overcome one of the biggest obstacles of her life. Metra Lundi simulates a walk of freedom to freedom by retracing the steps of the great American heroine, Harriet Tubman, and discovers who she really is. Fascinating film. Acts of resistance, heavy metal music in Latin America. Heavy metal music is simply unique in Latin America, whether inspiring support for rural schools in Guatemala, engaging in environmental activism in Ecuador, or working for memory and peace in Colombia. Heavy metal music has become a form of decolonization activism in Latin America. I'm not going to play each and every one of these trailers because if we do, it's going to take forever. But this is, I'm showing you where you can find them, and maybe we'll pick by luck one or two and play them. The next one is Back to Solos. A filmmaker of Armenian origin revisits his family roots in a Turkish village. Director and actor Serge Avedikian has traveled to Solos, the village of his grandparents, located 170 kilometers south of Istanbul, 4 times in 3 decades. This documentary, shot during his successive trips between 1987 and 2019, chronicles this experience and highlights the themes of identity, historic truth, and reconciliation. Then we go to Boza, very fascinating film, crossing the Sahara Desert on foot and finally making the dangerous crossing to the Spanish territories by land or sea after spending many months living in the forests of Morocco. 3 immigrants have one thing in common: their indestructible optimism in the face of inconceivable adversity. The film juxtaposes 3 stories of success with the hopes of migrants living in the slums of Tangier, Morocco. Chef Antonio's Recipes for Revolution is a very revolutionary film. It is a film, his apprentices, Chef Antonio's apprentices, are Mirko Piras, a young man with Down syndrome, and dreams of becoming a great chef, and Jessica Berta, an ambitious waitress. Their tiny kitchen is the beating heart of a revolutionary restaurant staffed by young men and women from across Italy, living with Down syndrome, who come to train and work in hospitality. The film is a journey through their lives, loves, dreams, and dramas. Let's watch this one.
Welcome to Italy.
friend?
Usual.
You're lucky.
Grazie mille.
Appetito.
Grazie.
Finestra chiusa e padrona di me, quanti sospiri e quanto lacrima, brucia il mio cuore come una candela, ma quanto ti sento nominare, prendi la freddezza della neve, una vita è fredda ma si fa.
Jessica, I love.
So, as you see, it's very revolutionary as a concept. And of course, it's very important for us to integrate. We shouldn't talk about disabilities, but we should talk about different abilities of people. So next we have a film called My Blood is Red. And I have someone here from our team who has a special liking to that film, and he will present it for us. And I will give the word to Dirk Robertson. It's for you. Oh, I have you muted. Unmute. Can you unmute your mic? Yeah, there you go. I can hear you now.
Am I muted?
No, you're not.
Oh, good.
You're talking. Yeah.
This is an excellent film. Am I muted?
No, you're not. You're not. We can hear you.
Am I okay?
Yes, you are.
Am I muted?
No, you're not.
You can hear me.
Yes,
you. This is an excellent film. Anything that's set to music that works very well. It's got an excellent rhythm. Good storytelling is like music. There's a rhythm, there's a backbeat, and it brings you in and creates something that you remember. And that's what I particularly liked about this film. I took a very strong topic about the treatment of indigenous people in Brazil, and told the narrative through rap. It's just very clever, and also social filmmaking. The filmmakers specialize in social filmmaking, and this is an excellent example of it.
That's cool. Yes, it is unusual because it's mixing music and social issues. So we really appreciated that. Let me go back and share my screen again so we can continue. Maybe we can view that. My Blood is Red.
Eu estou numa jornada. Eu estou tentando descobrir quem sou eu.
Independer de mim, pra demarcar Polícia Federal, só se passar por cima do meu cadáver. Dia linda rima, bela rima, muda tudo, não me iludo, vou com tudo, nhandeiro, pra nós é tudo. Juruário, picharé, venham, juruário, picharé, venham, juruário, picharé, venham, juruário, picharé, venham. Ai, maroim, sempre alto astral, direito, rojo, amar, não importa respeito. Quem não tá na feira de hoje, já lutar. Fecha ativo, cova é punha de quatro. Tolek de atigene, a minha me parece tolek. O irmão tá falando da demarcação de terra, dos assassinatos. Mano, o que é bom é o coração. Fala aqui que você vai ver o refrão que ele fez, eu já sei o que sua cabeça doente vai pensar.
There was a movement decades ago of people into the cities, and now there has been this slow movement out of the cities.
Okay, I don't know. I got a message from someone saying they can't
the new
see the
normal, as we're
video.
starting to see it, is a
Did
significant number of
everybody
people
see it?
that
If
have
you
made
didn't see the
long-term
video,
structural
I am
decisions to
going
move away
to
from
share it
cities.
again
And there's a big impact.
because this is so cool.
The heritage is the earth, and the earth is
Tudo nhandeiro, pra nós é tudo. Juruário, picharé, venham, juruário, picharé, venham, juruário, picharé, venham, juruário, picharé, venham. Ai, maroim, sempre alto astral, direito, rojo, amar, não importa respeito. Quem não tá na feira de hoje, já lutar. Fecha ativo, cova é punha de quatro. Tolek de atigene, a minha me parece tolek. O irmão tá falando da demarcação de terra, dos assassinatos. Mano, o que é bom é o coração. Fala aqui que você vai ver o refrão que ele fez, eu já sei o que sua cabeça doente vai pensar.
A raiz desta terra é perder a própria razão de existir.
the heritage is the earth, and the earth is spirit. The earth is the history. The earth is the blood.
As you can see, I mean, it's fascinating. I don't know about you guys, but when we saw this film, as also all the other films that we ended up selecting, it's so difficult. It's such a difficult job that we do. It's not what films to include that bother us. It's what films to have to exclude, because there are so many beautiful films that come that are all very important, very well made, very important social issues. And then you have to eliminate, because we cannot, it's not possible. We don't have the manpower or the capacity to show more than we are showing. The silver lining also, let me say, of not being in a cinema, in a theater, is that we were able this year to show, to screen, to program 65 films from 33 countries. Whereas if we were in a cinema, we were limited to the number of days that we can actually afford to rent a cinema and be in a cinema. And that limits in itself the films. If we get better at this game, maybe next year we can even show you more. It's our goal. The goal is to shine the spotlight on these films and bring them to you. Thank you so much, Dirk, for picking your choice. And we have a couple more people.
Thank you.
Ching, okay, we mentioned. She said there is no video. We corrected that. Thank you. We cannot see anything. You can see it now. Okay, share screen. Yes, I have to share screen every time. I'm forgetting that each time I have to share it again. Now I can see it. Okay. Oh, Hassan has said hello from Paris all the way. Hello, ça marche bien. Oui, Hassan, merci, merci. Bon, let's go back and see what we are doing here, but let me make sure I am still sharing my screen. If I am not, if you don't see it, please let me know. The next film is very interesting. It's called Open, Honest Conversations. And it's a group of men, as you can see here, who are getting together and doing an open, honest discussion about race in America through their own personal stories and experiences of discrimination. So I wish that there was no need for such a film, but unfortunately that is not the truth. There is a need for open and honest conversations. So you can also catch this one on our website or YouTube channel. Out Loud, the next film, is a very interesting film by, it's about the trans chorus of Los Angeles, and many of whom have no musical training, have come together to hone their craft and find their voices. Some have the added challenge of coping with changes in their vocal range because they are going through the transition and the transgender, of coping with changes in their vocal range brought about by hormones that take for the transition. The stakes are high as they prepare for their concert debut. Very, very interesting film. Next, we have Samira's Dream, and it's a film about a Zanzibari woman who aspires to have a family like all of her friends, but it also is determined to pursue a higher education and a career. The filmmaker has followed Samira throughout 7 years of her life, society and respect of traditions, and are constantly pressuring her to choose one over the other. This one was a huge favorite on our YouTube channel, so I'm going to play it for you.
I was commissioned by an Irish foundation to research a documentary on female education in Africa. Soon after, I flew to Zanzibar. Here's when I first met Samira.
Wenzenu wanasoma. Kwanza nataka nisome kwanza, nijue, baadaye ndo halafu nifanye kazi. So kama ndo kila siku nikayapa hapa na wazee wangu. Na mimi nataka nitegemee mimi mwenyewe na niwe na watu wanaonitegemea, ambao ni familia yangu. Tukashirikisha.
She seemed to me the most determined among the friends to pursue a happier life. She knew what she wanted.
Mimi interest yangu na hisi ndo huko mambo ya walimu. Lakini sijajua wapi.
But also knew the reality of the life in which she was living.
Utadi hamsomi tena. Naona leo kwenda.
I want to marry her.
Kudanganye.
Yes, of course.
You want to marry him?
No. Baba kanivunja moyo tena.
Ndio maisha.
Labda kwa hapo uliponikuta mimi, ndio nilikuta kwamba naendelea tu na masomo.
Nategemea zaidi kae nyumba ambayo itakuwa na nafasi kwako ili uweze kusoma na kujitawala vizuri.
For 7 years, I followed her life. A long way, full of doubts.
Hatari.
Will she give up?
Kweli tunawahusudu, kuna watu tunawahusudu hasa hususan kuona wanawake wenzangu wana nafasi kubwa katika jamii. Nikupata yani kujua na kuifahamisha jamii yangu. Natamani yani niwe ni mtu miongoni mwa watu wakubwa. Saa imefika, nitakie heri.
Siku nyingine unaandika nambari yako, alafu ndo nambari yako.
Right, Samira's dream, and we wish that Samira realizes her dream. So the next one is also linked to education. It's called Shaw Rising. Shaw, the oldest Black university in the South, rises from the Civil War segregation and the civil rights movement to confront the future of education and social justice in America. So this is also a very worthwhile film. We next have a very unusual film, which is called Stalking Chernobyl. I was making a joke the other day, which might not be so funny after all, because we have hospitality sponsors, and the last years where we were in a cinema, they used to give us happy hours. And I was saying, maybe we'll find a restaurant in Chernobyl who will host us this year. So not a very funny joke. Anyway, Stalking Chernobyl is the exploration after a apocalypse, is a film that examines the underground culture of the Chernobyl exclusion zone, where 3 decades after the world's most infamous nuclear disaster, illegal hiking adventures such as stalkers, extreme sports aficionados, artists, tour companies have begun to explore anew the mysterious, ghostly, post-apocalyptic landscape. So this is also very, very interesting. Next, we have The Boys Who Said No, and that is Oscar-nominated filmmaker Judith Elrich tells us the story of a mass movement of young people who choose conscience over killing and who ultimately prevail. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. visits Joan Baez in Santa Rita prison and links the racial justice and peace movements in an impassioned speech delivered at the prison gates. The documentary chronicles the Vietnam War protests as depicted in the trial of the Chicago 7, which is currently on Netflix. We're not showing the Chicago 7, of course, but here we are with The Boys Who Said No.
We are going to win. We are fighting a war. I'm convinced that it is one of the most unjust wars that has ever been fought in the history of the world.
The war they were asking us to fight bore no resemblance to what I thought Americans were supposed to do.
My conscience won't let me go shoot my brother for big, powerful America. And shoot them for what? They never called me nigga.
We have chosen to be powerless criminals in a time of criminal power.
Evil is a participatory phenomenon, and it counts on participation in order to be successful. And the first option you have is withdrawing your participation. And from there, it's all liberation, whatever the cost.
There's something happening here.
In less than 2 years, 1,400 young men have been convicted of violating the Selective Service Act.
Sentences had tended to be 2.5 years, and they gave me 3.
These are our cards. You have our names.
Joe Stewart, New York.
Come arrest us.
We ourselves actually would take the step that would bring this war to an end by refusing to go, just refusing to cooperate.
I made the decision to return my draft card.
There it went. Any moment, I'll be hauled off to prison. And if you want to put me in jail, then you go ahead and put me in jail. And that, of course, is what they did.
Hell no, we won't go.
The most encouraging thing is when the young man says no to Uncle Sam, and we'll take the jail sentence.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Turn me around.
It's a very simple no. And what we say to our brothers around this country is a very simple word. That word is resist.
Did you have any final things to say to David before they took him away that you could tell us?
I love you.
We must continue to follow the dictates of our conscience, even if that means breaking unjust laws.
This was really a both individual act and a group act.
Most people can let themselves be heard. They can stop being silent.
My name's Rich Profuma, and I just refused induction.
Right. Reminds us of a period of time when all this was happening, and I personally was was there. I don't know about many of the viewers. So this is a good time for me to acknowledge some more people who have joined us. Okay, I'm talking double here because I have my phone on and listening to the messages. Okay, we have Metra Lundri, who just says, love what SRFF is doing for social awakening. We love what you do with your films. So without those films, Socially Relevant Film Festival can't do anything. So thank you all. Then we have Ruth Bedevian, who's saying she has casted this presentation on the big TV screen. Thank you, Ruth. And a little note here. Ruth was the first person to purchase a ticket this year. Yay! And for that, we are giving her a present. The single ticket that she purchased suddenly by magic becomes an all-access pass. Ruth, you have won an all-access pass. And also, I must add at this point that our early bird tickets, which are $5, they will become $7 once we go on our streaming platform. They are already on sale. $5 for single tickets and $30 for an all-access pass, which allows you to see everything we have on offer. Then we have Daniela Krasa, who says, great. Nino Tropiano from Puglia is joining in. Best wishes and greetings from Monopoly Puglia. Yes, we love Puglia and we love olive oil. Thank you. And we love the films, most importantly. So I have a few people. Nora, we can't see the screen. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's go back and have a couple of our team members talk about more films. Universality of It All is another film, which let me go back to the big screen and let's get out of this because we don't want to watch all the clips that are on YouTube today, maybe another day. Universality of It All is how friendship between a filmmaker and a refugee is connected to all the major events of the 21st century. An introspection into the topics of human migration, inequality, and climate change taking place all across the planet. One more film, which we don't have the trailer for yet up. Right now, I Could Scream. I Want to Scream. And it's using participatory practices in collaboration with mothers whose children have been killed during police operations in Complexo de Alemayo, Manguijos, Complexo de Mare, and Samira, Janaina Matos, founding members of the group of Brazilian police officers campaigning against militarization, states that in Brazil, it has become normal for police to enter a territory and treat the population as if it were a war enemy. So this is very important because it's mass killings that are happening under police surveillance. So I'm going to go to the narratives because we don't want to take up all your time. We're going to show you a few of our narrative selections. And let me see. With the narratives, we have The first one here on the, oh, okay, the first one, oops, what happened to my, yeah. Angie, Lost Girls. It's a topic that keeps coming back because it's very important, and a lot of people do not realize that it's so important, because it is not only happening in far out countries or cultures that we have no idea about, which is sad, because people, when they don't know about somebody, they just completely erase them, rule them out. Whereas Lost Girls is a story, or human trafficking happens every day at our doorsteps, right here under our very noses. So after Angie escapes the horrifying world of sex trafficking, she struggles to heal from the atrocities she's endured as she mourns her stolen innocence. Eventually, she must confront her shame and fear to save the girls she left behind. So this is very powerful film. The next we have Antigone, and writer-director Sophie Deraspe's incisive, liberal adaptation of the Greek tragedy by Sophocles is the daring story of one young woman's commitment to her family, even if it means sacrificing herself. Newcomer Naima Ricci, she's not so new anymore because since the film she's done so much and is a shining star, gives a stunning, luminous performance as Antigone, an Algerian-born teenager living in Montreal with her immigrant family. This film was the contender of the Oscars last year for Canada, and we were supposed to show it at our opening at the Lincoln Center. As you know, it never happened. So we are happy to say that it was made available for us to show it to you this year. So let's watch the trailer for that.
On est parti au Canada, mais juste avec ma grand-mère, mes deux frères, puis ma sœur.
Puis ces années nous ont fait prospériser. D'abord, maman, protégez-nous. Et
gardez-nous unis.
Je sais pas, même.
Maintenant, il faut sauver Polynice.
Là, il est accusé d'assaut sur un policier. Ils prennent ça très au sérieux.
Ça marchera jamais, Tato. J'ai peur pour toi. Fais ce qu'il faut. C'est tout.
T'as un frère, alors pour ton frère.
Ouais, juste un.
De toute façon, moi, je t'aime.
Est-ce que vous êtes bien consciente des charges portées contre vous et des conséquences qu'elles auront sur la peine qui pourrait vous être donnée?
Oui, je suis solidaire de ma famille.
C'est quelque chose de pas mal plus gros que tu penses, ma petite fille.
Mais voyons donc, c'est fait tirer par la police. Elle a jamais rien fait. Elle est malade, d'accord?
J'ai tué la loi, mais je recommencerai demain. Mon cœur me dit d'aider mon frère.
Prends pas ton procès. On va faire entendre ta cause. Sacrifie ta vie pour lui.
Mademoiselle, laissez les procédures.
Mais je vais les vomir, ok, vos procédures. Ton honneur, vous êtes ridicule avec vos cérémonies. Tu veux nous oublier en échange d'une petite vie qu'on peut miroiter. Tu veux te pencher pour ramasser le bonheur qu'on te jette.
Comment tu fais? Comment tu fais pour aimer ton frère?
Je l'aime. C'est tout.
Beautifully acted and beautifully presented. So let's go back to our list. Dust One is on a US-Mexican border. Okay, yeah, here it is. An undocumented mother's quest to save her son relies on a troubled American vet building a wall out of junk whose duty is to keep her out. Then we have another French film, I Am Not Blonde, is 40-year-old Redouane feels rejected because he looks like he is not from here. I think that's a feeling that a lot of us share. in one way or another, we always in our lives at some point may have felt that we are not from here. But in case of Redouane, it's more a matter of race and perception and all that. So to ease his daily existential pain of not belonging, he periodically kidnaps someone to ruin their evening. His victim must have shown a sign of contempt towards him. Claire, a young woman in her 30s, is Redouane's next victim. During the course of the evening, she tries to convince Redouane it is his own imagination that is to blame for his situation. It's a very interesting film that I really urge you to watch. Then the next one is a film called I Married My Mother. And we have here Donna from our team who has taken a special liking to this film. And I will let her describe it to you.
Thank you, Nora. As a narrative feature, it was definitely a standout for me. I Married My Mother is written and directed by Italian filmmaker Domenico Costanzo. With this film, he clearly stands out by delicately addressing the issue of Alzheimer's with these beautifully filmed vignettes of the mother as the elderly woman. And then there's this juxtaposition of the woman beside a young girl, which speaks to the Alzheimer's, her memory, bringing her back to her youth. There was an afterglow I felt after watching it, and I watched many films during the festival, and I watched this one about 2 or 3 times. It's definitely a standout, beautifully shot, a beautifully told story, and well done.
Thank you so much, Donna. So I'm going to go. I have a question here. Somebody's saying, dear festival friends, have you discussed Lost Girls yet? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. We did discuss Lost Girls. We are not showing all the trailers, so because they are on the YouTube channel and on our website, so people can watch them at their leisure. Let me remind everyone here that early bird tickets are on sale already. Once we go on the platform for streaming, they will go to $7 a piece, still very cheap. A latte or a bit of a little special coffee might cost you that, but we want to make it affordable, democratic, and everybody can watch. Of course, if you're a family of a few people with $7, everybody can watch. We are welcoming everybody. And the All Access Pass will turn to $50 at that point. Right now, it's only $30. So let me go on because we have 3 more films to cover. My Mexican Bretzel is another film called My Mexican Bretzel. It's very fascinating because home movies, this is found footage made from home movies. And fleeting snippets of sound tell the story of Vivian Barrett, a wealthy Swiss woman whose World War II pilot turned entrepreneur husband changes their lives when he creates a pharmaceutical wonder drug. From the 40s through the 60s, from the Alps to the Le Mans, to New York, to Hawaii, vulnerability, loss, truth, and opulence are explored in a way that only cinema allows. It's powerfully hypnotic, has said Cine Europa. So the next one is a film called Should the Wind Drop? And this is a very special film. It's running out of competition because it's already screening in New York, and we have a rule that says for a competition section, we need to have at least a New York premiere, even though right now with everything going online, I don't even know what it means, a premiere in New York or not. But Should the Wind Drop has a special quality because it was programmed in 2 separate Cannes Film Festival official selections for Cannes 2020. Unfortunately, the festival never took place. The film is scheduled to be out on screens in Paris, but as long as this pandemic is still not allowing that to happen, it's still our privilege to be able to show it in public. So let's watch this beautiful trailer excerpt. Right. I'm going to show the other excerpt as well from the same film because, oh, we don't have it here, unfortunately. Anyway, it's on the YouTube list, so you can watch it. The Buffalo Man, Eric, a Mexican journalist who has stopped writing because he is threatened, decides to return to a story that may cost him his life. This is about protest. And I must run you here a bunch of the topics that are these films are grouped under. And so let me say that we have race, prejudice, discrimination, forms of protest, genocide and survival, migration and immigration, disability seen in a positive light, genocide, sorry, I said that, LGBTQ stories, empowering women, climate change and sustainability, indigenous people and their rights. We have homelessness, but we've called it home and belonging. And we have human and sex trafficking. We also have youth and children. We also, and I think that about wraps it, if I have forgotten. But there is one category that I want to visit. I don't know if the film, Natalie, you wanted to present one of the films, but unfortunately we're not doing the shorts. So if you want to present one of the life during COVID, let me know. I'm going to start with The Endless Summer. Yes?
Oh, just actually Out Loud is one of the documentary features. We just kind of were running out of time, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, well, if you want to say a couple of words about it, because we're almost, I'm almost done.
Oh, sure. That would be great. Thanks.
Yeah.
So Out Loud was, you know, kind of hit things personally for me because I used to be in a choir when I was in college. That was a really wonderful experience. And so I always liked the idea of music bringing people together, especially singing in a group and the kind of togetherness that brings about. And so it was really amazing to see, this is kind of a feel-good, you know, warm film that was showing how a bunch of people that are going through a lot of changes with regards to their gender presentation and expressing their identity are brought together by singing together in this choir for the first time. And many of them, as they say in the trailer, have no musical training prior to this. So that makes it extra special. They're literally finding their voices. And I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a film that really hit home with me as well. So it's very important because we're not only showing social issues, we're also telling human interest stories here, and they are all into that category. Well, this year, the COVID category is very special. And I also have one other thing to mention, and then we're going to wrap up just in case. So is anybody, are there any comments? Let me just make sure we monitor the comments in case somebody wants to ask a question. All right, life during COVID is a category that we introduced this year because we realized a lot of filmmakers will be making films talking about the pandemic or filming something that is happening during the pandemic. So we have Endless Summer, and it's a young mother who has spent longer than expected with her baby daughter due to the COVID lockdown. But now she must confront the post-pandemic return to work. So I'm going to go to those pages. So if I see something that we need to show, life during COVID, and here they are. So Endless Summer is, I just mentioned it, and a docudrama. It's a docudrama filmed 100% remotely during the coronavirus lockdown. So this is what struck us about that. Everyday Heroes, it's a film as the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic took hold of the world. We set out to create film highlighting the positive stories during the pandemic in partnership with 20 producers from around the world. They gathered over 50 incredible stories. As stories began unfolding, they realized that the film was not just about positivity, but about the humanity in people and everyday heroes amongst us. The next one, I am unhumbly to say that I take credit for. It's Imigrant Woman. It's a play, a monologues of migrant women juxtaposed to tell the various immigrant experiences of women who find themselves in a foreign country away from their loved ones. This was supposed to be a play, but then we did it as a Zoom, and I figured, why not put it together as a Zoom play on film and show it in this category. So there we go. Next, we have The Age of COVID, When Molly Goes to Korea, which we mentioned earlier. Actor Nick Payne is booked on a film, and when he shows up for work, he is the only one on the set. Hell, he is the only one at the studio. The crew is working from home. It's very funny, and it pushes to extremes the situation with the lockdown. Quarantines is about a group of teenagers produced during the height of the coronavirus pandemic in New York City, follows the experiences of a group of high schoolers as they navigate familiar relationships, frontline work, racism, healthcare, and economic injustice. So this brings to, we also have all the, I'm just going to show you the page quickly, but we won't go into each one. Here are our narrative shorts, and we have our documentary shorts, many more of them because people make more documentaries about social issues. They are all little pieces of jewels. Of course, this is a festival that I am running, I will say that, but believe me, even right now, I don't remember which one it was, as I was watching one of the trailers, I teared up. So if it's having that effect on me, who has seen them gazillion times and has programmed them along with the team, then I hope that it will have a similar effect on you. Let me go quickly to the script writing finalist page. And last but not least, tell you that we have a contest. And on Monday, March 15 at 5:30 p.m., this is the only thing that's scheduled right now. Everything else is open yet. If you purchase a ticket for early bird $5 ticket, then afterwards you can decide which film or which event you want to apply it to. Bones of Ribbon, In Hiding, I Promise You This, The Hunters, and Those Who Wander. These are the finalists that will have readings, and from that our jury are going to pick first, second, and third place winners. We have Jilly Simon here, who directs these events, helps with the selection. Of course, she runs this section of the festival and will be directing segments from these plays. So I am going to stop sharing my screen and just come back to you and say thank you all very, very much for being here with us. This recording will be on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I'm doing like all the other YouTubers who keep saying, click the button, subscribe. And if you still have comments after the fact, we visit the site regularly and we can respond to you, but it's better to write to us on our regular emails. Early bird tickets are on sale on our website, Rated SR Films, which has been scrolling the entire time. Maybe I should not hide it, but show it. Film schedules and tickets are on Rated SR. And you can purchase them ahead of time, which will give you a head start. Thank you all very much to each and everyone who joined us. Let me see if I forgot anybody who is with us. To wonderful filmfestival.com, one of our huge, biggest supporters. A big shout out there. Wonderful. Sorry I could not be there with you, Nora. You know the time difference. Of course we do. Samar El Zain is saying hello and thank you. Can't wait to watch. Metra, thank you very much. Thank you all. And bye-bye now. And thank you, team members who joined me to make this presentation a little bit more exciting than just me talking the whole time. Thank you. We love you all. Be with us for the film festival. Lucy is saying, bravo, SRFF family. Thank you, Lucy. You are one of the oldest members of this family, not in age, but in presence. Bye.